If laughter really is the best medicine, New York is about to be fit as a fiddle.
Yep, that's right. The New York Comedy Festival returns to the Big Apple with some of your favorite comedians taking the stage at venues across all 5 boroughs. Picture it, more than 200 comedians, 100+ shows, and 10 days of laughs.
Stop it.
Can you handle it?
No.
The event is the country's largest and longest running comedy festival.
And the woman behind it all, Caroline Hirsch, is here with everything you need to know about this year's festival and how to get first dibs on tickets. I mean, a moment for the look. This is gorgeous.
It's
okay?
cool.
Thank you.
It's cool.
Every year this festival gets bigger. How? And how do you manage?
I don't know how we do it, but we do it. We decide that, you know, like the day after the festival stops, we take a day or two to breathe, and then we're booking constantly. Actually, right now we're even planning the year after
For 2027?
This. Yeah, so we're even planning that. So.
How do you pick your comedians? Is it like, how does it work?
Well, you know, Louis Ferrander is our talent director, and Andrew Fox and myself and Greg Charles, we all talk about who we like, and we go out and we book them. And, you know, a lot of them are graduates of Caroline's. So we've had a handle on these people for many, many years.
Okay.
So we see what happens, like Miss Pat, Alana, all these people all worked at Caroline's.
They're all alum.
Mark, who's coming back this year, Mark Maron.
Who's locked in for this year?
Mark Maron, Miss Pat, Jess Hilarious, Jordan Jensen's one of our new faces. So look, the festival also takes another direction. You know, when we started the festival, it was only stand-up. But it's so diversified right now. We have people that are being watched on TikTok, on YouTube. We have podcasters. We have, you know, these digital creators that really have made a name for themselves, and we present them in the festival. We have Dropout Improv at the King's Theater in Brooklyn.
Dropout Improv. What's that?
It's an improv group. It's fun. They have the largest following. They're playing like a 3,000-seat arena.
What?
In King's Theater in Brooklyn.
That's crazy.
Yes.
You got to find talent in different places.
Yes,
And it's
we do.
interactive.
We're finding it all over. That's the difference in the festival
When
we started 22 years ago to now. We find comedy in different places.
Do you find that more exciting, or is it just more work?
Well, you know, it's more work.
Yeah.
But the other part is that, you know, years ago, a comedian wanted to get their sitcom.
Yeah.
Now, they don't even care about the sitcom. They don't even care about getting their HBO special or the Netflix special. If they're not accepted by them, I'll just put my own out, and I'll create my own following on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that's what happens with a lot of comedians today.
God bless America.
Yeah, God bless America. That way.
Tell us about Stand Up for Comedians, Stand Up for Heroes.
Stand Up for Heroes, that's our charitable event that happens on the first Monday of the festival, which is November 10th. And that's something that we started. It'll be the 20th anniversary.
Amazing.
Of that, yeah. So we haven't announced the talent yet, but it's a big, big blowout. And we've raised over the years through the New York Comedy Festival and presenting that Stand Up for Heroes for the vets of the Afghani and Iraqi war, over $130 million.
My gosh, that's incredible.
Yes.
Amazing cause. When you're spotting a young talent, and you see them coming up, how do you kind of like harvest that ability? How do you say, like, you know what, just listen to my advice? Like, what do you do?
Well, you believe in them, you give them, you know, a tap on the back and say you're really good, but you just have to keep growing and growing and growing. Like Jordan Jensen, who's in the festival this year. A few years ago, she won New York's Funniest. And then last year, she did a small theater show. This year, she's at the Beacon Theater.
Amazing.
So, wow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Happens that fast.
Yeah. Well, we had our eye on her for a while.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So who are, aside from this woman that you're talking about, who are some of the other rising stars?
Jess Hilarious, but she worked at Caroline's for a long time. Miss Pat. We have Patty Harrison and Sarah Schaefer from, you know, Sarah from SNL.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
So those are two new rising stars also that were presenting at Town Hall.
Do you miss the good old days? There's a golden age of comedy, the 70s, when it was just like, it felt so special. We talked about this because I did a story about you. It's one of my favorite stories I've ever done. We talked about this, the stories and the shenanigans that used to occur back in the day at Caroline's, and would lead like back to your apartment. You'd have a party, and you were talking about like Robin Williams was making toast. Like, do you sit in bed at night and just kind of go through your mind and say, like, I can't believe this occurred?
I know. I know. I started Caroline's in 1982. And it was just the start of what was happening in the comedy industry, with David Letterman going on at 12:30 at night, and Jay Leno became like our star that would go on Letterman and say he was at Caroline's. It gave us a national platform.
Yeah.
It was all of that. So it was really great. It was just, and I go back because I try to think of all those memories.
Yeah.
But the memories also come back when I talk to comedians that have worked there. They remember a lot of the stuff that went on. Particularly, but it's been a great ride.
Yeah.
It's 42 years of doing that.
Stop
And
it.
the best.
You started when you were 1.
The greatest era too. You were there. You were in charge of it all. Like it's amazing.
You know, I think that the club and everybody that worked there and everybody that put the time in to promote all the young comedians at that time helped to start this boom. It was before the comedy channels came out, like Comedy Channel or
Comedy
Central,
Yep.
and then they went all of that. It was like the rise of all of this happening then. It was an exciting time for comedy.
It's still an exciting time for comedy because you're still at the helm. Tickets for this thing go fast. Do we have a pre-sale?
We do have a pre-sale, which is starting today.
Okay.
Right now.
Starting today.
At 11 o'clock. There you go. It's
Get your tickets.
Just a few minutes. 5 boroughs, 100+ shows, 10 days, 200+ comedians. You know what to do.
Yeah.
Caroline, it's always good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Caroline,
Always
very
like
much.
feels like home.
Thank you.
And look at this. This is amazing.
You can take that with you.
You know what?
The whole TV screen.
Can you send that to me, please?
Yeah, we got the whole screen there.
The laughs don't start till November, but pre-sale kicks off today at nycomedyfestival.com.